right, guys, and welcome back to the Deep Threats Podcast. We are here today, and it is a crazy day. We had to come live to you with some updated news. Obviously, I'm not prepared to this. My daughter is in studio with me. As always, you have your wonderful host, KJAM, here, and your wonderful co-host, Wheels.
Hello, just making sure sound works. We're all set.
I don't hear you at all.
We're all set.
All right.
Sound works. I'm muting myself to listen to the video. We're
So
good.
break it down for us, Wheels.
Okay,
Give us the news.
So, as always, there's always next year, Cleveland. Sadly enough, Watson has a broken glenoid, which is the bone that is connected to both the upper arm and it's connected to the socket of the shoulder. It's right below the AC joint, so that is broken, which I am amazed with how he played in that second half. They must have shot him up at the cortisone. That's my only answer of how he played, but unfortunately now we are looking towards DTR starting, which has been confirmed by Kevin Stefanski and Mary Kay Cavett. So PJ Walker is now riding the bench. So I don't hate this move, as some people think, by Kevin. I like it because when I look at the film between PJ Walker and DTR, I looked at more film from DTR in college and some preseason film. If you look at the way DTR runs with that offense, it's I don't want to say it's mirrored, but it's kind of similar to the way Watson runs it. When plays break down and, progressions break down and he doesn't have a guy to go to, he kind of rolls out and extends the play a little bit, which is what Watson does. Walker has kind of an issue with that because Walker, in my opinion, is not a very good ball thrower on the run rolling out. So he's more of a pocket passer and he can pick up yards through the ground, but he reminds me more of a Jacoby Brissett in that aspect. So I'm comfortable with DTR. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to have, multiple playoff wins, but I definitely think we can win Sunday and we can make the playoffs. The question is how will this offense progress with the rookie quarterback, especially with the injury to Watson? Now it's all on his shoulder, or I should say his soldiers. I guess, better to be on his than Watson's at this point. Pun intended. It's craziness. We got a kid in here. I'm just trying to go on.
I'm going to talk about a crazy day. This is a crazy day. But here
we are with
I'm
child.
going to give you guys some stats. I was doing some digging before the show, and you want my mouse? And the stats are right here. Oh, good, the wife's home. So with Deshawn Watson in, we're 5-1, right?
Yeah.
So that's a phenomenal stat. Without Deshawn Watson, we're 1-2. Okay, that kind of sucks. So we've only played 9 games this season. Mommy's finally in here. We're dishing her off.
The handoff has been completed.
Right. We have given the ball up to the opponent. Okay, we are in. You have me muted the whole time. All right,
sorry.
so sorry about that. Little crazy, little hectic in here.
I still think you could hear.
Talk
loud.
I do talk very loud. So yeah, with Deshaun Watson in, we're 5-1. Without Deshaun Watson, we're 1-2. Okay. So breaking down the stats per game, Deshaun Watson's attempted 171 passes, and he's thrown 105 completions. That's roughly about a 61 completion percentage. Not great, not bad.
No, but you got to remember, he outside of... Well,
hold on. Without Deshaun Watson, 135 attempts. Mind you, this is only 3 games. This is why I'm pissed at Stefanski. Or 4 games. This is why I'm annoyed with Stefanski.
I'm happy about it.
Okay, because he's thrown just as much in 4 games as you have in 6. And that's a problem. 68 completions, which is only 50%. So there's an issue with what we're doing with the ball. Okay? Now, here's the positive. Yards per game with Deshaun Watson in. Okay? 331 yards per game. With Deshaun Watson out, 321 yards per game.
Well, you got to remember, Stefanski threw the ball almost 40 times with DTR's start.
That's included.
Yeah, it was.
That's included.
It was a start. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had 39 attempts, and I think he had 19 completions.
So a lot of people
37 attempts, 19 completions.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying that DTR is not the answer. You know what? At this point, what do you have to lose? Okay, honestly, you have $65 million in cap.
Hold on.
On the IR.
Let me get through this, okay? So we're only 10 yards less per game without Deshaun Watson. That's including the rush. That's including the pass. We're only 10 yards less per game. Now, here's the good stat, okay? Not positive, not great. Let me look up one thing first.
Okay, but so just real quick, outside of, we should be 7-2, let's be honest. Outside of the bad call, I don't want to say, outside of the pass call at 3rd and 3 against the Seahawks where it bounced off someone's helmet and you got it intercepted.
So let me give you the good stat, right? So our defense is only giving up, and we actually were first in the league finally after the Baltimore game. No, that's not right. We're 10th.
5th.
We're 10th in the league. Sixth in the league in points per game. Okay. We are giving up 18.9 points per game. Without Deshaun Watson, how many points per game you think we've scored?
I'm going to say 21.
20.25 points per game. So we're positive.
It's not
okay. With Deshaun Watson.
So it's about a field goal.
Less than a field goal.
Okay.
With Deshaun Watson, we're 26.6 points per game.
So we gained.
So we're 8 points up as opposed to only 2-ish points up. Okay, so that's a big difference.
So we net a touchdown with the Watson.
Now I didn't get to the turnover ratio yet, but I'm assuming the turnover ratio on and off the field might be similar. The only difference is 3 of the games Deshaun Watson only turned the ball over once. When you look at the Tennessee game, you look at
2 of them was twice, right?
You look at the Arizona game and then you look at the Baltimore game, and then the other 2, no, it was 3 times. But one of the games he only played.
Yeah, the Colts. He had one interception.
He had one interception, and I took into that account as games with Deshaun and game without Deshaun. So I kind of doubled those stats because technically I don't want to take away, because that was a very good game for PJ Walker.
PJ Walker stepped in.
Yeah,
and we finally ran the ball.
Right, I mean, and that was a very good game without him.
The thing is with Kevin Stefanski is, he, like we said, outside of last week, he changed the game plan, in my opinion. In the second half, Watson came out, they looked great, even with that injury. Now I worry about Stefanski, not so much the quarterback room, is can he change the game plan to help this rookie? And I know I said that he mirrors Watson, but the problem with that is you can't have this rookie throw 40 times a game. You have to build this kid's confidence. You have to. There's no way you can just send this kid, all right, you're throwing 40 times a game.
And I wouldn't recommend it against Cincinnati coming up.
Against Pittsburgh, I would like to see him throw it maximum, 28 times. Honestly. Run the ball.
I guess the question is, right, so the Browns, from what it seems like, are not in it for a veteran quarterback.
No, and when you look at the veteran quarterbacks that are out there, Matt Ryan, he has trouble moving in the pocket. Carson Wentz,
but Matt Ryan had like 2,200 yards in like 6 games, so he can throw the ball.
He can throw the ball.
And you have an offensive line that can protect him, and you have a run game that can still protect him.
Yeah, if our tackles come back, obviously. I mean, if DeJuan Jones and Jedrick Wills comes back, that's the biggest issue. You got to remember, we won that game without two of our tackles.
So now
Denzel Ward's injured. He missed the second half of that game, and our defense stepped up. So I'm not worried about the defense. Like I said, I told my brothers to sit Myles Garrett, but when I look at it, what do we have to lose at this point? Myles Garrett's going to go for Defensive Player of the Year, which he should. I think he just about has in the bag. He's close to it.
Wow. If this is true, and I know a lot of people might hate this. I just saw this on Twitter. More for you, Cleveland, on Twitter. Ryan Tannehill demands a release because he knows if the Browns could go get a quarterback. Has that been
confirmed? Who tweeted that?
That's more for you, Cleveland.
Okay, so I don't know how considerable they are, if they can be perceived as a reputable source.
No, I mean, possibly not, but if this is a very true statement.
I mean, Ryan Tannehill, I don't hate it. He's
younger. He's younger.
Yeah, he's a pocket passer. He is another guy that is capable. He's a capable backup, a capable veteran starter. He can get us with this defense. I think he can win us a couple playoff games. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Newsom's tweet.
What did Greg Newsom say?
Jump off board if you want. You'll regret it.
That's
confidence in this team.
I love the locker room mojo with these guys. You could see people are saying, Watson just got the bag, so he doesn't care. No, Watson did not get the bag, and he doesn't care. He got paid. I watched that interview with him. He looked broken. That dude, he just wants the ball, and I love it. It looked like he wanted to cry. I mean, he did. He left everything on the football field on Sunday. And every Browns fan, which I had doubts this whole year, I said, wow, that is the Watson that we paid for. That's the Watson I think we will see the rest of the year. And unfortunately, we're not. If he was healthy, I think we would have. But he just wants to play ball. And, Cleveland media and all its fans just yada, 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 as we always do, because we're negative. We're always negative. I was negative this morning.
Stupid negative.
I was stupid negative. I 100% admit it. But that's the way I roll sometimes. I just get, screw it. What's the point? But why give up on a 6-3 season when you're 6-3 and tied for second and possibly going to go for first this Sunday? Why? What's the point?
You know what's crazy? I'm trying to find.
That's what the more I just sat and thought about it today. Why give up?
You can't give up. You're literally
you got to keep pushing up.
You're literally
hill.
like the first place team in the wild card.
You proved yourself. That defense. You proved the defense can keep you in games.
Yeah,
that defense brought us back in that Baltimore game.
I personally would not give up. Personally.
And Watson just balled out in the times that we needed him to. I think Walker, DTR, possibly Tannehill if he comes, who knows. As long as we can get a reputable starter, this team can go far. If you look at the remainder of our schedule, I want to go over that with you real quick. Let's go over the remainder of the schedule.
Well, obviously you have the Bengals and the Steelers.
Well, you got the Steelers.
You have the
weekend.
Jets. You have the
Steelers. You can win. I don't care who's that quarterback. You can win. And then you go to the Broncos, Denver. That's a tough environment to play for. Especially to catch your breath. You're mile high in the air, so it's a little bit tough. I'm gonna say, with the way the Broncos are playing right now, I'm gonna say that's a loss. And then you go against the Rams. I think the Rams are.
I won't say the Browns are a loss against the. Yeah, I won't say we're a loss against the Broncos because the defense. The Broncos are beating teams that aren't showing up on defense. Now, outside of Kansas City, and keep in mind, this could be a factor. But the Broncos had 5 turnovers against Kansas City and 3 or 4 turnovers against Buffalo.
Oh, they had 4. I think 4 against the Bills.
Okay, so 9 turnovers in 2 weeks.
2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles.
So 9 turnovers in 2 weeks.
Might have been 1 forced fumble. I don't know.
No, they had one from
I guess
James Cook, and the other one got on James Cook from Josh Allen. It was the handoff.
Capitalizing on points, so I get that.
As long as the Browns protect the ball,
we never play well in Denver, so that's where we it's a tough environment to play for, and especially for a rookie if the rookie's going to be starting. And then you have the Rams, which I think you can beat the Rams. You're playing the Rams in LA. I think that team's beatable. That defense is a shell of what it was 2 years ago.
So Deshawn Watson, since he's been in Cleveland, is 8-4. So for all those people that are saying his contract's not worth it, he's 2-1 on a win.
You know who's saying it's all the national media? Colin Cowherd, all these guys, 92.3 the fans mad about it. It's just it's national media. They're gonna do whatever they can to stir the pot.
And here's the thing. Views. Go ahead. Continue through that stat. So Denver, to me, I think we can win, but it is definitely going to be a competitive game.
Yeah, I think we win against the Rams. And then we have...
Is Matt Stafford back? That's the real difference.
I think we can stop Matt Stafford.
I actually think we lose against the Rams because we don't match up well against the Rams. And I think we win against the Broncos.
So we're
2-1 either way.
Yeah, we're 2-1, and then we go against the Jags at home. I think we can beat the Jags the way that.
Let's just say we lose to the Jags, okay? Because trending, you would say we lose to the Jags because defensively they're one of the highest turnover rates, and if we have bad quarterbacks. Might not be a good situation. Let's say we lose to the Jags. You're 2-2. You're 2-2.
We'll lose, but then you play Chicago. That's a win.
That's a win.
And then you play Houston in Houston. So that's going to be a big game.
Houston's going to be a huge game because we need to put up points. But so let's 3-3.
But
so then one more. So we have 2 more games after that, right?
Yeah. I'm just going to say this about C.J. Stroud. As much as I love C.J. Stroud, I think he's Rookie of the Year, no doubt. I want to see how he performs against the top 5 secondary. That's what I want to see. If he performs well against us, there's no reason.
He lost against Atlanta, and they don't have a defensive front like ours.
That's what I'm saying. So if he performs well, and he's continuing pace,
and you know me, I'm a huge fan of C.J. Stroud. You're a huge fan of C.J. Stroud. I'm saying
if he continues out of the pace he is, and he beats us like he's played, there's no reason he shouldn't be MVP.
And he barely beat he barely beat the
Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals without their starting receivers.
Yeah, Tank Dell. Or not Tank
No,
Dell. T. Higgins.
T. Higgins, and then minimally Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I mean, he still produced, but yeah, minimal. I would say
He had like 3 receptions.
I would say 60%.
As opposed to the 13 targets he's had the 2 weeks prior.
And then you go against the Jets at home.
That's a winnable game if they're out of contention.
I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back, so I think it's a winnable game.
If they're out of playoff contention, Aaron Rodgers will not come back.
Yeah, and then
correct.
And then you go. That's a short rest though. You go the Houston is the 24th
Thursday,
and then you go against the Jets the 28th.
That doesn't bother me.
So and then you have the Bengals last game and
let's just say it's a lose. So you go 4-4,
and you're at what 10-7.
Yep.
The problem is
10-7 is a wild card.
It is. You're probably going to be like 6th.
By the way, that's only 2 games less than I predicted us to have, and we lost Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, we were 12. I think we both agreed at 12.
12-5.
So as long as I can remember, I have never seen a defense this good. Obviously, I was born in '94, so I mean, let's be honest. I don't think I started watching Browns football till about 02, 03. I didn't really get into it until maybe 08. But I have not seen a Browns defense this good in my entire life.
Well, the Browns defense...
You might be different, but I have not.
But the Browns defense right now is 242.7 yards per game. Now, the Ravens are catching up because we went from 200 to 242. Rushing yards per game, we're still giving up less than 100 rushing yards per game. Not top of the league.
Yeah,
it is 7.
Our secondary, though.
Our secondary, it's definitely our secondary.
And if you look at our yak...
But Dallas' secondary is right there with us.
You got to remember, I'll give some praise to Dallas, but you got to remember, who's missing for Dallas? Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, and their secondary is hugely stepped up. So.
It shows something. I mean, that defense is figured out. The problem is the offense.
I want to see...
At times, the offense.
Who was it that I was talking about? Bland. What's his first name? Deron Bland.
Deron Bland, the defensive back.
5 interceptions. Yeah. 5 interceptions since Trayvon Diggs has been out.
He's a Trayvon Diggs.
He's stepping up. Like I haven't seen enough of it to compare him.
No, but I'm saying he plays like Trayvon Diggs. Though.
The fact the dude has 5 interceptions and 3 touchdowns.
He's a ball hawk.
That's pretty damn impressive.
I mean, that defense is the best defense in the NFC. I'm sorry. I think that's the best defense.
Arguably, but we're giving up only 151 passing yards per game and a QBR of 72.7. Now, 72.7 is second best in the league behind the Ravens.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just
30 sacks, and that is
the AFC North is a fickle bitch to play.
30 sacks is
that much right now. It's not an easy division to play.
I actually would almost guarantee, and a lot of people don't believe this, but I guarantee almost the Browns play second to maybe first in the NFL in sacks at the end of the season because
there's a Darius Smith.
We'll get CJ Stroud. We'll get CJ Stroud at least twice.
Okay, let's go. Yeah.
We'll get Justin Fields at least 4 times.
Oh, we demolished that O-line last year. Remember, I think we had 6 sacks. I think Miles had 4.
It was 4.5, but yeah. It was almost 5 sacks in the one game, and then TJ came in and did the exact same thing to the Bears. And then Zach Wilson, we're gonna at least have 3. Okay. And then Joe Burrow, if we sack him once, we win the game.
Yeah. I would say 2.
If we sack him once, we win the game.
Is it?
So if we sack Joe Burrow
is 1-5 against the Browns,
and we didn't sack him once that game.
Yeah, he's 1-5 against the Browns as a starter.
And that one game, I think it was the end of the season, and we were out of it, and it was Deshaun Watson. Just an FYI.
So I think we win this.
So we've actually beaten the Browns. We've beaten Cincinnati with Baker.
I think we're 11-4 at the end of the season.
Baker.
Or not 11-4. I'm sorry.
Jacoby.
11-6.
And Deshaun at the beginning of the season. And let's just say that was not Deshaun in Tennessee, Arizona, or the Ravens. Because that first game of the season, there was no touchdowns in that game.
And all Stefanski has to do, whoever's at quarterback, is you just play it safe.
Do not throw a screen pass to open the mother effing game again.
They've done it against every AFC North rival this year not in the opening drive, not in the opening play like the first few plays, but in the opening drive we've thrown
it's within the first 4 downs.
One screen to a tight end or running back.
It's disgusting. And you know what you should do is you shoot to the base screen and hit the running back downfield. Kareem Hunt, let's go. By the way, Pierre Strong is averaging over 4 yards a carry for the Browns.
Yeah, I mean,
Tony Pollard Jr. That's what he is. He's Tony Pollard.
Pierre Strong has been he's not going to wow you. He's not going to wow you, but guess what? He gets those tough yards.
So I'm gonna ask you.
Would you call him an elusive back?
No, he's not. He's Tony Pollard. Okay. He's a downhill runner.
Yeah.
So what happens, right? What happens is Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt destroy the defensive line. They bruise them. Then you put Pierre Strong in there on the third and shorts. You give him a small enough hole. Downhill runner.
Yeah, he's one. Yeah.
Downhill runner. He hits that hole and he hits it hard.
And this is where you're going to see them to rely a lot more on Njoku, especially with these younger quarterback. DTR.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, I give Njoku the ball every third down. He does what he did last week.
Njoku
did he win angriest run?
He should have. He ran an extra 10 yards.
I don't know if he won angriest run.
He ran an extra 10 yards. That dude was mad. Did you see him after? I thought
he took 3 players with him.
Was going to pop out.
What week was this? Week
10.
2023.
And he's another guy who he's progressed so well in these last recent years. And he wanted out of Cleveland.
He did win it.
You remember when he wanted out of Cleveland? He actually said no. I mean, this whole team, it's just a different vibe, it feels like, in the locker room from when you watch some of the interviews. This whole team is just, they know it's not over. They're not going to throw in the towel. Why should the fans? And the fans should just be, it sucks. I know. We'll have them back next year. I know you just got to peel off the Band-Aid and look forward to this week, which you can win. Do not open this great game, like you said, with a screen. It doesn't work out. Twice this year we've been picked off in the screen for pick sixes. Twice. That's 14 points. And screens going against the other team, against AFC North rivals. You take that away in the Steelers game, that's an extra win.
He did win it, man. I was just watching him rant. I'm gonna save this.
I'm surprised he didn't get tested for roids after that. He might have.
I'm gonna save
that dude.
You know what? David Njoku, Myles Garrett, and Zadarius Smith with their shirts off are freaks of nature, bro.
Yeah. Did you not see?
Freaks of nature.
Did you not see Njoku last year show up to that Colts Christmas Eve game when it was a whiteout?
No.
He was freaking ripped. He showed up with a mask and just.
Freaks of nature.
I'm like, I'm not that brave, and I've lived here all my life.
I am.
Whew.
I would jump. I would jump in the lake in the middle.
Yeah,
of
and he played at the U, so he's not used to cold weather. I mean, Miami U, you don't get what's the coldest you get? Maybe 52.
Njoku's a monster.
Oh, 100%.
And I'm not a huge Njoku fan.
So, who do you think is the leading receiver for us? I don't think it's Cooper.
It's Cooper right now. Are you asking that, or you're
I'm
telling?
saying the rest of the year.
Cooper.
I think it's Njoku.
Cooper.
Okay. I think Njoku's going to be heavily relied on with DTR.
I just think he's so far out of being the leading receiver. Like, you got 8 games left, right?
I did like them last week throwing more to Cedric Tillman. They definitely try to get him involved. You got to have the guy out there to just get his tempo up. You're seeing some of these rookies now coming into their own. Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's looking good. Quentin Johnson, he had his first touchdown last week. I mean, you had Tank Dell, who's done great this season. Another guy, Jordan Addison, stepped up huge for that Vikings team with a JJ injury with Hawkinson. I mean, that is a tough role to step into, and he has done it. Obviously, he's not done as well as JJ, but I'm pretty sure if you ask any Vikings fan, they are fine with the production that they have gotten from a rookie.
Amari Cooper has already got 715 yards.
Oh, no, I was just saying...
No, but I'm telling you, Amari Cooper...
From this point on, like, who... From this week 10 to the end of the year, who's the leading
I get what you're... Okay, so you're saying from this point on, not totally on the year.
From week 11 to the end of the season.
Right, so it's not till the end of the year. I got you.
I think it's going to be Njoku because I think there's going to be a lot of checkdowns, a few screens.
So the reason why I said this, so Njoku's got 377 yards. Now, mind you, he didn't get targeted a lot towards the beginning. Towards the beginning, it's 3, 4, 4, 7, 4, 9, 8, 6, 9.
It's increased every week.
So he's averaging about 6 targets a game since...
That's almost wide receiver 2 numbers.
Since our bye week, actually.
That's
since our bye week.
That's what's that wide receiver 2 numbers, I feel like, for targets.
Yeah, probably Njoku probably is WR2 for the Browns.
I mean, obviously Elijah Moore had a good week this week, but the problem with him is he doesn't show up.
The problem is he's been dropping the quick passes.
Yeah,
he does get a lot of targets.
Brought here for though. He was brought here for those outside those outside passes, the quick throws, the out routes, the corner strikes. The flat, when you're throwing over the flats, some verts. He's not. I don't think he's fighting enough towards the sideline to get.
Elijah Moore on the season has only had 3 more targets than Njoku.
Yeah.
So 57 to 54.
And what's
Coops?
What's Cooper's? I'm guessing he's been targeted 62 times.
72.
Okay, so
you're off by 10. So it's what? That's 15 more than Elijah Moore and 18 more than Njoku. But again, we're not throwing the ball that
and you
much.
Remember, we're involving Kareem Hunt too more in the passing game a little bit as well. I like the trio we have at running back. I'm not mad.
I'm not opposed to it.
Pierre Strong didn't get a touch last week.
We're third in rushing yards per game. So
Even if you take out like we said, the Chubb, the 1.25 game that he had, right?
No, that's including those 2 games.
But I'm saying, I feel like even if you take that out,
but
we're still top 10.
That game that he had 70 yards in or whatnot.
The Hawk came in the first quarter.
Jerome Ford still had 100 that game.
He had 107.
Yeah, so
then people can sit there and hate on Jerome Ford. Yeah, most of his yards come in one big piece, but guess what? He's still getting the yards.
I hate to say it, but
it still matters. It's still a stat that matters.
Nick Chubb's not the same. He does average more yards per carry.
Yeah, he's a meaner.
But
runner.
I will say the reason why Nick Chubb is averaging 5 or 6 yards a carry consistently, he does get 1 for 30 or 40, and it happens almost every game.
Derrick Henry's the same way. Derrick Henry's the guy. All these running backs.
Derrick Henry's not the same way. Derrick Henry almost averages around 4 to under 4 yards per carry because he gets almost 25 to 30 touches a game.
Because they rely on him so much.
Because he is the offense. Yeah. Whereas we're very balanced as a Browns team.
People go to that, all his yards came on. I don't care if all your yards came on 1 run or 30 runs.
I don't care either.
You still got those yards. They still matter to us in the box.
Well, look at Keaton Mitchell, right? Keaton Mitchell for the Ravens. He had 3 carries, but all of his yards came on that touchdown run.
Yards no,
it was 36 yards.
Yeah, it was
and 25 or 30 of it came on that 1 touchdown run.
And he's fast, dude. He is a...
He's quick.
Lamar Jackson called him lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, he's quick. But I have one other question for you, and maybe we'll bring this up a little bit on Sunday morning. As of right now, who are we seeing as Defensive Player of the Year?
I already said Myles Garrett. There's no doubt in my mind this dude wins. And you can call me, obviously I'm a Browns fan, so I might be a favorite, but guess what? In my opinion, everything that TJ Watt does, Myles Garrett does better, and he's an end, not an outside linebacker.
Well, so he doesn't cover. Yeah. So TJ Watt covers better.
And I still think Myles Garrett's going up against tougher opponents on the offensive side.
Oh, he's left tackle. He's going up against left tackle.
Yeah, and how often did TJ get doubled versus Myles Garrett?
Oh, dude, TJ, I think it was 18% of the time, and Micah was 32% of the time, and Myles was 28%.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference. And he's still getting to the quarterback.
I love the caption to that tweet because that tweet was hilarious when it said, "Ain't nobody worried about you, bro."
I'm not trying to hate on TJ. TJ's great. I don't want to call him. He is generational to a point for an outside linebacker, but
so is Micah.
Yeah, they both are.
And so is Myles.
But my issue is they play different positions.
We're seeing one of the best defensive classes of all time when you look at, and I don't mean draft classes. I mean when you look at TJ, you look at Aaron Donald, you look at Myles Garrett, you look at Micah Parsons. These guys are generational.
Yeah, and I think Myles is 2 years younger than TJ.
No, he's a year younger.
Is it?
He's a year younger.
I think you're right because I know Myles is 28.
Yeah, he's a year younger. So. That's all we got for you guys today. I don't think this hurts the Browns as much as Browns fans believe this hurts the Browns.
Oh, he's 27. He's gonna be 28. So yeah, he's 2 years younger.
He's a year younger. TJ's 28.
29. I thought
28 going on 29. He's 28 going on 29. So
no, he is 29. He'll be 30 in October, and Myles will be 28.
He just turned.
I know, but
29.
Myles will be 28 in December.
Right, he's a year older. A year and a month, or 2 months.
It's still
He's 14 months of age. Come on. Stop it. All right. TJ Watt, you think, huh, Kelly? You think TJ Watt will get Defensive Player of the Year?
She hates the Browns.
No, Kelly loves the Browns more than you.
I'm just kidding.
Kelly would never be seen in a Josh Allen jersey. Ever. Ever.
What about an Amon-Ra St. Brown
She would
jersey?
not be seen in an Amon-Ra jersey. Never.
You should have seen my brothers. They gave me so
Kelly,
much
please in chat tell this kid that as a Browns fan, you would never wear another player's jersey. And I swear to God, if you say Justin Fields, it better be the Ohio State jersey.
I love my Browns. You know that. I'm a diehard Browns fan. You know that.
You wear a Josh Allen jersey more than I've ever seen you wear a Browns jersey.
I've worn my Amon-Ra more this year, actually. My Amon-Ra.
It's not defending you because he never even played in Ohio.
Still watching when he played for USC.
Where's your Scary Terry jersey? Where's your Michael Thomas jersey?
I don't want to wear Saints jersey or a Washington jersey. Those colors don't.
I'm just saying.
Ugly.
Kelly, I would argue that TJ Watt.
It's gonna be close.
TJ Watt is a team MVP.
It's gonna be close.
I just don't know if TJ Watt gets MVP this year.
Do you think he stays healthy the rest of the year?
It's not for me. It's not about being healthy.
He misses a few, just like Miles. They both miss a few games every year.
It's for me. It's not about being healthy. For me, it's Miles is going to the bad teams now. We need a vet. I agree. I would love to have Matt Ryan just step up, be a pocket passer, protect him, run the ball, let him make the hard throws because that's what we need to do is make the hard throws.
If we can get our O-line healthy, I completely agree.
I almost would have agreed to have Carson Wentz.
He's you can.
I know
sign
he just
him.
got picked up by
he's on the practice squad, so you can still sign him essentially.
Are you really?
Yeah, he's on the Rams practice squad. You can.
So I thought they signed him to the team. They didn't.
No, I think he's on the practice squad. I don't think they signed him to. I don't think he's on the actual
I wouldn't be
roster.
opposed to a Carson Wentz. I wouldn't be opposed to Cam Newton. My only issue with Cam Newton is he is a locker room drama queen.
Well, he's another guy that has a shoulder injury. TJ Watt separated his shoulder in 2017. There's another guy who has known shoulder.
We're talking about quarterbacks.
I know, but TJ Watt separated Cam Newton's shoulder.
Oh, you're saying he has a shoulder.
He's another guy who has a.
I don't like the Nick Foles thing. Nick Foles after that Super Bowl has not been the same Nick Foles. I know everybody thinks that Nick Foles is going to be a great playoff quarterback.
That offense and defense carried Nick Foles.
Outside of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Outside of the Super Bowl, Nick Foles was a phenomenal player in that Super Bowl.
Yes.
I
mean, he definitely made his mark. I'm not taking anything away from Nick Foles.
To me personally, Matt Ryan put up 2,200 yards on the Colts in 6 games.
How much do you think it would take to get Matt Ryan here? $2.5 million?
No, it'd take 8 to 10.
Do we have 8 to 10?
Yeah,
no.
we got 40.
All right, let me ask you.
And you're
this.
saving, by the way. I think you're saving per game for Deshaun Watson.
Okay. Let me ask you this. It's gonna make you mad, but that's why I'm here. Do you draft a quarterback in the second round?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not even a conversation.
Okay. I'm happy. I'm not giving up on Watson.
You drafted DTR to be the backup.
Yeah.
You wanted DTR to be here for a year before he had to step on the field. Well, obviously that didn't work out the way.
Well, yeah. Never does in Cleveland.
But you drafted DTR. I think actually with a week of preparation, I think DTR will not turn the ball over the same way as it was in that last game. He's going up against a okay defense. I would say probably top 15 defense.
I think it's a worse pass rush, but
it's a better secondary.
It's a better secondary to go up against for a rookie.
Right.
Outside of Minkah, who's a safety.
And I think personally, where's my team defenses?
But like I said, I mean, no matter how you slice it, the guy's going to have to play at least.
So yards per game,
or the
since he is bottom 3. Rushing yards per game, since he is bottom 3. Passing yards per game, since he is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bottom 8. So they're actually giving up a lot.
Yeah,
points per game, since he is middle of the pack.
24.6.
21.3.
Okay.
So we're averaging 20.25 points per game without Deshaun Watson. So that's doable. We can do 21 points.
But yeah, it's just like I said, it's just my biggest worry is throwing it 40 times with the rookie against the Steelers.
And offensively, by the way, Cincinnati's only averaging 19.4 points per game. So statistically, we should still be able to beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, they're out. They're giving they're negative 1 point essentially, right?
And then the Steelers are averaging 16.6 points per game offensively. And then their defense, which this might change a little bit after this game, their defense is giving up 20.2 points per game. So, it's good defense.
Our defense is going to carry us. Like they say, defenses win you Super Bowls.
And I'm kind of curious. Like, I noticed they say Deshawn Watson season-ending injury, but I thought it was like an 8 to 10 week recovery. He can't come back in the playoffs?
Well, depending on what IR they put him on, I don't know how that works.
Well, they said they're doing season-ending IR. Now, I don't know.
That's season, though. Is that playoffs?
That's my question. If we make the playoffs, can he come back round 2?
I would. That's that's in the fine print that we don't read.
Everybody said that's the report is season-ending injury.
Well, it all depends how they do the transaction. If they put him on the IR, if it's 4 week, or I don't know. I know 4 weeks the minimum for IR. I don't know what the. So do you just say screw it and put him on a 4 week IR, and you have him eat up a roster spot?
Well, I think you could put him on IR indefinitely.
It's just I don't know. That's one thing I don't know about how that works with the NFL is how the actual IR works. If you have, because you got to remember, who else had season-ending Achilles injury?
Look,
Aaron Rodgers.
So with appropriate treatment and normal alignment of the bones, fracture healing can be expected. Surgery may be necessary to realign fractures that are displaced. After healing time is 6 to 8 weeks in adults and 4 to 6 weeks in children. Full recovery with physical therapy is 4 to 6 months. Okay, so it sounds like it's easily 4 months. That's 16 weeks. So that's for full recovery. So it sounds like he will not be back. Okay. I just...
Yeah, he had the earliest he could be back would be the first week of March. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. That dream's gone and out the window. All right.
Always try to find something to...
All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow before the game, 5:30.
Peace out. Later.